What's up? How you doing? Here we are. Beautiful night tonight. It's a beautiful, beautiful night. Perfect temperature, perfect humidity. It has a slight breeze of 0.436 miles per hour. It's confusing if it's going east to west. I don't know. It feels like west to east. We're gonna go with west to east tonight. So I have some incense here. Murphy's. I had a friend named Murphy. Yep. We're gonna try one out. Wow. Very lemony. Very lemony. So we take one out. They're pretty long too compared to the average. Look at that. Put it there. So this says good for the outdoors, good for the outdoors. And it's made by cedarwood, rosemary, peppermint, lemongrass, and citronella. And you know, when I light these up, they remind me of something. Instantly brings me back to kindergarten number 2. Give it a little light. Place it in the middle. So when I light this up, it brings me back to kindergarten number 2 because I had a teacher, and I've mentioned her before, but it's my life, so of course things are going to get mentioned again and again. That's the way it goes. But anyway, she was my kindergarten teacher. She was an older woman. When I had her, she had to be past the age of retirement. I want to say, I don't know, the way I'm thinking of her, the way she looked, I would say she was about 70 back then. And so she would say, we're going to go down and use the bathroom. And she would pull out one of those little, it was always purple for some reason. That was probably her favorite color, lavender. And she would light a lavender incense thing. And we'd go to the bathroom, come back up. Disruptive. Come back up, and the whole room had a very fresh aroma. So that's something that reminds me of her. And over here, I ended up buying some incense from Tibet. I'm going to take a look at these. Also, when I light these up, I feel like I'm going up to the Buddhist monastery. Practice some Shaolin Kung Fu. All right, look at that fancy little apparatus here. Oh, look at this. This has a certificate of authenticity. It's called Healing Lama Buddhist Shop. Comes with a little stand. They have them nice, nicely wrapped. LY, adverb. Oh yeah. Get that. So what I do once in a while, a lot of noise tonight. A lot of activity out there. So anyway, I'm going to tell you a little story about these incense. So every once in a while I go out deep into the desert, and there's a place that I like to visit, and it's a Buddhist temple. Now, I'm not into the hocus pocus part of it, but what I do is I go there and I enjoy the peace and quiet. So I'll drive into the driveway, and they never ask you, "Hey, what are you doing? What do you want here?" You know, they're all quiet. They walk by me like ghosts. They have their nightgowns on, and I will park all the way on the end and walk up the area where all the big statues are. And these statues have the creepiest faces. If you saw somebody like that at night, it would freak you out. So what I do is a little smoky here. Wonder why. So what I do is I walk down the concrete and I check out all the statues. Some of them have big smiles, some of them look angry, and I make my way to the front, where there's a huge statue lying down on its back, very large statue, and I'll look at that for a while, and then no matter where I put it, the smoke comes my way. It's starting on my nerves. I put it over here, it switches, comes back. So anyway, then I go in the back, and in the back they have all these statues of little children in frozen positions, you know, and then I go inside the actual temple, and it's very quiet in there. They have fruit. People bring fruit and leave it there. I don't know what the purpose of the fruit is, but, you know, they have a purpose. And I look at the clothing, and I see the monks when they walk by, and I say to myself, I want to dress like that. Just for a little bit. I'm not talking about all the time, but a little bit. I want to put those I don't know what they call them, pajamas. Something bad happened. Being a firefighter, that's a very, very hard job. Very hard job. So anyway, last time I was in there, they had them nice and folded. And they had, you know, small, medium, large, extra large. I don't know how far up, because some of these guys are vegetarians, but they're, you know, chubby. It's all the carbs. So I asked the lady, she was there, I asked her very quietly, I said, how much are those? And she told me the price, and I said, you take credit card? And she goes, oh, no, no credit. And I said, okay, well then no sale, because I don't carry cash on me. And then I wandered around. I used to take my kids, and I still do. I don't mean I used to and no longer do. I still take them there when they have the time. But before they started school, that was one of my pit stops. Why? Because it reminded me of the Shaolin Temple from one of my favorite shows of all time, Kung Fu, starring David Carradine, but the original one with Master Po and Master Khan. I love that show. So when I see things like that, you know, like Buddhist temple, I appreciate it, because it brings me back to the old days when I was younger and I was really into that stuff. Kung Fu. You know, I actually have the whole DVD thing in there. Once in a while I'll pop one in and watch David Carradine fight in slow motion. But my favorite scenes I mean, I love the show anyway, but my favorite scenes are the ones where he has flashbacks and he talks to Master Po. Love those scenes. Master Khan, they always give him good advice. So, what I was about to say with these incense is that at the temple, they have these round pots, and they have all these incense there, thousands of them, and you can take them and light as many as you want. So I will take them and light them up and just sit there and watch. But hold on. You know, it's amazing. It's like I have gravitational force for the smoke. It's like, come this way, come this way. I put it over there, it'll come this way. Go that way, go that way. Go get the bugs. So anyway, I was a big fan of that show. Love the flashbacks. And I've said this story before, but I had an aunt who lived in the Chinese part of town, area of town that was predominantly Chinese. And they lived on the top floor, my aunt did. And one day we went, go home, mama's boy. One day we went visiting, and I had a very bad cold. It might have been the flu, who knows? I was like, really sick. And my mother had no concept of my son is sick, it's contagious, don't bring him anywhere until he gets over it. No, she's like, bring him to my cousin, let them get sick too. And of course in those days they thought getting sick was caused by the it was caused by cold air, not a virus. What's a virus, right? They don't have any idea what a virus is. So she took me over there, and I was like coughing, and I felt horrible. And she said to my mother, when you guys leave, I'm going to take you down to the second floor. There's a Chinese woman there, and she has some kind of medicine. You add it to the Vicks, you apply it to, my body in the back, whatever, and that'll help him get over his cold. So I was very excited about this. I go, there's some kind of medicine that's going to help me, and it's Chinese. Kind of reminded me of the Kung Fu series. We're going to visit the female version of Master Po. So I was very excited. So anyway, we go downstairs with my aunt. She's leading the way. And this Asian lady speaks no English, just Mandarin. And my aunt spoke no Mandarin. So we go down there, knocks on the door, and we waited about a minute. I thought no one was home. Finally the door opens up nice and slowly, and inside when I looked, it looked like what you would expect a Chinese person's home to look like. It had this kind of smell, the incense. Then she had Buddhist things hanging around, had a statue of little Buddha with the belly going. And my aunt somehow explained to her that he's sick and he needs some of that medicine that you have. And probably the woman was thinking, I only have that one thing for me. But she was nice. So she disappeared into her house again, left the door open, and she comes back with a little glass bottle, hands it to my mother, and explains, you take this, dump it into the Vicks, and then mix it, and then apply it to the body. So we go home that night, and I'm not a Vicks guy. I can't stand this stuff. I find it greasy, disgusting. I don't like the smell. I mean, it's minty. I just don't want to smell that way all the time. So that night, I got the Vicks with the medicine, the Chinese ancient medicine in there, mixed in and put on my back. Now here's the rule in my house. If you're going to get anything like that done, only allow your mother to put that on your back, not your father. My father's hands were like concrete, you know, carpenter. And when he would rub something into your back, like if you had a sore muscle, I would never ask him, but once or twice when I accidentally forgot and I did, I immediately remembered why I don't ask him. So he would take the Vicks or whatever and rub it into your back, and it would feel like it was being rubbed in there with sand grit or sandpaper. There's another one. So my father, it felt like he was grinding in the medication into your back with sandpaper. And the more you would tell him to, you know, do it lightly, the more intense he would make it. And then he would say, oh, if you don't do it like that, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. You have to, you know, grind it in there so it gets deep inside. I'm like, it's not going to go any deeper. So by the time he was done with you, your back, it looked like sandpaper had gone over it, an electric sandpaper machine, electric sander. Gotta blow it that way, it comes back this way. So anyway, I never involved my parents with that kind of stuff. Only when I was younger. I would say put a little bit of, and even then I don't really remember many times. I get that one memory of that Vicks. Anyway, so let's get back to the story. So my mother puts the Vicks on me, and everything was fine. Was sleepy. I went to bed, wrapped myself up like a mummy. First I closed the door, and then I don't know, 4 hours later, I woke up in chills, and the menthol and the Vicks, combined with the secret medication that she had given my mother, intensified the sensation of having menthol on your back. And it felt like I had ice on my body. I was shivering, and I was like, and I remember going to the bathroom, opening up the light, I was like, and then trying to wash it off of me. And then I got into bed, I fell asleep. The next day I said to my mother, don't you ever put me that Vicks ever again. As a matter of fact, toss it out now. And she's like, why, what happened? I go, it was too intense. It made me freeze. So from that time till today, I have never, ever put Vicks on my body again. One reason is I didn't trust that my mother threw that Vicks away. Even though she would say, oh, I threw that out years ago. Well, I go, there's one in there, looks just like it. She's like, yeah, we bought another one. I go, I don't believe that. I don't believe it. And even if you're telling the truth right now, I don't believe it. Just for self-preservation purposes. So, yeah, that's intense. It's I should have put it like a block away from here. Maybe that's why the fire department's going around. They smell smoke. Anyway, so that's what she gave me, and yeah, it was it was crazy. It was like the Vicks had nitrogen in it, liquid nitrogen. It's very cold. The lighter still working. Yeah, beautiful night. Let's see what time it is. 9:14. I like summer nights. Summer nights that make you nostalgic. You start thinking about another mama's boy. You start thinking about the old days when you were young and how the how fast time went by. Today, I was with my daughters, and they had some kind of I don't even know if you call it a play date anymore. Or is that only when you're a little kid? But they had some kind of get together with their friends. 3 of their friends, nice kids, nice friends. We went out. They did an escape room situation there. I just watched from a distance. I don't want to get involved because it's not what am I playing with them? So I just watched. And then we ate. Oh, we ate first, sorry, and then we went to the escape room. But nice kids, nice friends. And then after that, around 5 o'clock, they went their way, we went our way, and then eventually we went and had dinner. We went out and had dinner. So I came back from dinner a little while ago. I was still full. And now I'm watching a possum there watching me. See if I could grab a picture and show you. I'm not kidding, there's a possum there. Look at that. Years ago, I have a humane trap. So what happens is it's about that long. It's like a rectangle shaped box. And right at the end you put like a piece of bread or something that the opossum, I like possum likes. And not, whatever, anything, even a cat, whatever. Put a little bit of food there at the end, and when it walks in, the door is open. And the weight of the animal makes the back door shut and traps the animal inside without hurting it. And what I used to do is I used to capture the possum, and then I would bring it up to the Bronson Caves and release it. But I don't do that anymore. And I used to release them in a nice area. An area with a stream, plenty of vegetation, plenty of, probably rats. But I don't do that anymore. Now I let them, roam. There's only two, and I see them every night. I see them. This one's the baby one. There's another one that's much bigger. So this one's in training. And in the old days I would take it. There was 2 places I would drop them off. One was the Bronson Caves. I would release it there. And then the other one was a better location, was Franklin Canyon. And that one has nice stream, nice cold water. And one time I caught one about that size, and I washed it. I got some cat shampoo, made it all sudsy, and then I rinsed it off, and it dried up, and then I released it into the, there's a video of it somewhere on this channel. But yeah, he's eating away. I put some cat food for the other cats. Cat food for, oh, there he is. It's funny, they don't fight each other. The possum and the cat. The other night I was out here, they were both eating the same stuff together, in harmony and peace. They weren't like trying to kill each other. And that cat just went that way. So let me see if I could get a, yes, I got it. Look at that. So anyway, the reason I don't get rid of them is because I was talking to a friend of mine. He's an older person, older than me. And he seems to know everything about everything. He knows a little bit about everything. And I said to him, I caught a possum the other day, and I brought it across town to the woods. And he's like, yeah, he goes, don't do that, he goes, because they're good at keeping rats away. And I said, well, I'd rather have a couple of possums roaming around than to have rats. So I don't bother them anymore. I leave them alone. And eventually they disappear on their own anyway. I don't know if they get run over by a car, if a raccoon eats them, but they don't last that long. You may see the same ones come by for about 8 months, and then you won't see a new one for a year or two, and then all of a sudden they pop up again. But that one, that's the baby. There's another one, it's really bulky. So, what else can I say? That finished. There's a little bit burning at the bottom. You can feel that hot. It's a little bit hot. I wonder what this one smells like. If it's similar, we'll try one. These don't have a stick, so I mean they're cut to the actual area where you burn. Yeah, that smells like the stuff at the temple. I see this side here. I will say these are harder to light. The other ones, boom, they light up instamatically. But once it's lit, it's lit. I moved my hand like that and the possum took off. Thought I had a machete going. Looks like it's going out. Maybe not, I don't know. It's not as smoky as that one though. That one was coming out like a chimney. This one is very slow. I'm gonna try and shoot a little video of that thing down there. All right, let me show you. Yeah, this has a very familiar smell. It's exactly like the stuff they use at the temple that's in the middle of the desert. All right, now, look at that. One time, a possum fell in my pool, baby one, and the next hot pursuit. Hot pursuit. Anyway, so the next morning we got up. My kids were little back then, and I look in the pool and I see this this little baby possum swimming back and forth. It couldn't get out, and eventually it would have drowned because it would have gotten exhausted swimming and it would have just drowned. So I went and I grabbed the net I have for cleaning the pool, got it out of the water. It was exhausted. It was breathing heavy like it ran a marathon, and I put it in a box. And I fed it, got it some nice tuna, and a couple of days later I brought it to, that one I brought to the Bronson Caves, and I have video of that. So I picked it up and I put it on the ground, and I was waiting for it to leave, you know, and it wouldn't leave. It was playing dead. It was playing possum. It was playing dead, and I'm like, all right, go before another animal like a coyote or something comes and eats you. So then I told my kids, back up a little bit more, and we did, and then the possum realized it was safe to go, and it got up and took off. But there is a video of it, and you got to go way back. I don't know if it was 10 years ago, but it was a while ago. Anyway, yeah, this one is a lot slower in well, not slower in burning, but less smoke. Yeah, that one over there is like you went into a smokehouse. Anyway, that's it for now. Ciao.